You're listening to Relationships and Chill, the podcast for singles and couples about how to find and cultivate the relationship you've always dreamed of, based on trust and honest communication. Why waste your time going through the typical dating obstacle course, only to end up with drama, jealousy, and heartbreak, when you can find the love of your life and live happily ever after? So sit back, chill, and get ready to make relationships great again.
Welcome to Relationships and Chill. I have a guest right now that I don't even know what to tell y'all. She's sitting here looking at me, 92% sleep. It's pretty late in the evening.
It's night. No, it ain't evening. It's night. It's almost the next day.
Almost doesn't count.
Brandy said it best.
She said it the absolute best. Relationships and Chill, our aim is to make relationships great again. This particular segment is what I like to call. Yeah, this particular segment is what I like to call take our word or take my word, really. With
your word's the only one that people need to take.
It don't even matter what anybody else say. But no, you know, I promised this person would be on the show, and here she is. Y'all prepare to get your world shaking, because she take my word, y'all will not forget this young lady. Anyway, I'd like to introduce y'all to Kandyce Junior Baby Jackson. There you go. Give you a little, to make you feel at home.
Thank you. You're far too kind.
You're very welcome. All right, so this is my natural player partner. We've been knowing each other for a very long time. And also this particular topic that we're going to talk about is, can men and women be actual genuinely friends? That's the topic of this conversation. And also to introduce Kandyce Junior Baby Jackson to the world.
Why you gotta keep saying my ex last name?
Well, that's because it just flows. It's the flow of it all.
Oh, whatever.
I mean, you sound like you need to go to sleep.
I'm up.
I hope so.
Trust me.
Anywho, I know it sounds like there's a lot of tension, but there's not. Trust you me. We just get started. Trust you me, we just getting started. And,
TK problem is that he always trying to boss people around.
I don't, though. I mean, see, I like order, right? I'm a type of person who likes a certain amount of order.
What's the topic?
Now, the topic is, what I said the topic just was.
Can men and women be friends? Absolutely not. I'm just kidding. I think they can be. Yes. Look at us. We're friends.
We're very good friends. So, but the common ideology or thought is that men and women can't be friends, like genuinely true friends.
Right. Which
we kind of dispel that myth. But people really do think, and they shooting off already, but people
fireworks, they're shooting off fireworks.
Yeah, they shooting off fireworks. But people really do think there has to be some kind of hidden thing. But I think some people put too much interest in finding somebody or wanting to be with somebody as opposed to just being who you are, and the people that are supposed to fit in your life in whatever region just fit there, not trying to make something that is not something or make it more than what it is. Like, people try to make something fit in a space. Like, okay, for instance, like you got people that are actually really good at being friends. They should be friends, but they think, oh, well, maybe this person, because we're friends, we should probably try to be together. And then they try to be together, putting something that ain't supposed to be into something else, and it doesn't work. Now, you got sometimes where it kind of does work.
I think it gets confusing, though, because you have this person that you connect with on so many different levels. It's like, why are we just friends? And then you get into well, I don't want to mess up our friendship, and I think it becomes pretty awkward. And I think because I've been in that situation before, and this was in high school, where I had a friend and we always tried to cross pollinate, and it didn't really it never really popped off like that. Yeah, we tried to.
The heck does that mean?
We tried to date, but it didn't, or whatever. See if we could be more than just friends. And it just never, even like a little bit after, like during college and stuff, it just never turned into anything. And I really think we were just better off as friends. All we did was just confuse the situation. But now as an adult, I know that, well, I'm married, but if I wasn't married, I know that, okay, just because you have all these interests with somebody, that does not mean that you should be with that person. Yeah, y'all just homies, and that's okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess typically that's how it works. Then typically people can't be friends with the opposite sex because people have those ideas that maybe we could be more.
I think I had I real life had a crush on him though, but now as a grown woman, dang, that's crazy that I can say that now. It's crazy that I'm even in a place in my life where I can even look back on my high school days, but I digress.
You're an old woman now.
Don't play with me.
It's okay. You got to accept it.
I ain't 32 is not old.
Right.
Looking like your breath stinks. The thing about it is that now that I'm older, I have male friends, and that's all they are. They're just male friends. And my husband knows them, and he's comfortable with them, and it's never been any type of situation where we, cross the line on any type of level, And honestly, I don't think I could be friends with someone that I had crossed the line with in a romantic way.
Well, that I agree. I agree.
So I don't think really those people can be friends.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't think that at all.
Well, I mean, for me, actually, I am still friends with a lot of women that I crossed the line with, and it literally seems like it was a different person. But it is, I truly believe now, y'all gonna probably think, but I think it is different for men and women in that regard, because men are more subtle. Well, I mean, they both can be subtle, but I think women have a little bit more understanding of, well, I mean, I can't say that because it's really about your partner, right? So if your partner is understanding the type of person that you are and that you were, and because of how I am and how I think, I literally want to help as many people as possible. And so I'm always giving out information and stuff like that. So my woman sees that, and even if I had been with a woman that I'm, before, like she'll understand that, okay, for instance, a young lady I used to deal with called me and asked me for advice about a situation she's going through in a relationship. She's going through a divorce and all that kind of stuff. So she wanted to get my perspective on it, like what she should do in certain situations. And that shouldn't be something that I think the person that you're with has a problem with, especially in the position that I'm in, I guess.
But I mean, does that go back to the original question? Can men and women just genuinely be friends? I mean, yes, you can be genuinely friends, I guess.
Well, we are.
But we ain't never crossed the line, though. But I don't have any friends that I have crossed the line with in any type of romantic way.
Right.
But I'm not friends with those people.
I guess part of it is some people wanting to cross that line. Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, you may have not crossed that line with somebody, but they secretly want to cross that line with you. But you don't know. But you really don't know. I
don't think the people that I am.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you specifically. I'm just saying if a person's out there thinking, well, you can't be friends with a person of the opposite sex. But for us, and this is why you're on here right now, is because we do have that kind of relationship. We have that brother-sister relationship. And it's not even something where it's even a consideration. I'm married, you married, our families are family. You know what I mean? My wife knows you, your husband knows me, they know each other. So, matter of fact, they're in the other room hanging out, watching TV while we're having a conversation.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I forgot my point. But at the end of the day, I think you can do it, but it really depends on the other person.
And I also think that it kind of goes to the question of men and women can be friends, but I guess there's a difference between being friend zoned. You know what I mean? Because there are people out there that are friend zoned that would like to be more than friends. So you can have someone that's like, oh, that's just my homie. We kick it. You know, it's nothing like that. We hang out on both sides. But the young lady is like, you know, I'm digging him, but we're friends. And the guy is on the opposite end, you know, the young lady saying that's just my friend, you know, blah, blah. And the guy is like, but I'm doing all of this stuff because I like you, not just because I'm not showing up like this because I'm just the homie. Like, that's part of it, but I'm also digging you. Right. You know what I mean? So there is a difference between it just being a mutual respect where there is nothing there but genuine affection for each other on a friend level and versus, you know, someone
having intentions and objectives,
having intentions, or not necessarily, I would say intentions or objections, just having feelings that they can't
express, which is still an intention.
Yeah, that they can't express. Right. But they might know that they don't have a shot with you. Like, they might know. What if y'all had that conversation and you said, hey, I just think we're better off as friends?
But then, I mean, you got to ask yourself, am I going to be wasting my time waiting in the wings while this person is doing and making me feel this way anyway? So that person is going to continue to date and be interested in who they're interested in. They got you in the uninterested zone.
But whose fault is that, though?
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying to you. Because it's not known what that person's intention is, it's kind of their fault.
But what if it is known? What if I have a friend who she's very well aware of how somebody feels about her. This guy feels very well aware. He's made it abundantly clear. She don't feel the same, but she's just like, I like you as a friend, but she's very well aware, and he continues to come around and do things. It's because it's like he can't help himself. And I think that's something too. Like, when you like somebody, you find yourself doing things, I guess, like, because you like them. So it's like, I don't really feel like getting out of bed and
but
going
it's that
here.
Hope.
But
it's that hope that eventually,
it's
the hope that eventually
they'll see something and be like, you know what, you cool after all.
Right. But it don't really work that way though. Typically, I mean,
sometimes it can,
but sometimes the prince will meet a chick off the streets. But it don't happen regularly. You know what I mean?
And you know, I think a lot of women, and I can't speak from a man's perspective because I'm a woman, but I think a lot of women go through that where they're like kind of hanging out with this guy, doing things like making themselves kind of one of the boys, but being kind of feminine at the same time, but wanting to hang around him. And then when he starts dating someone else,
that's what I was alluding
to. They're like, what the heck? Like, I've been here this whole time. Like, you can't see that.
Read the mess signs and stuff like that. Yeah. But that's a problem. It's because even if it does work out, you're now setting a pace for why you can't see what I'm saying, instead of just saying what it is and working from that point on. And most people, they'll get into a situation or a relationship, and they'll want you to read their mind into the relationship.
Preach, baby.
And but that becomes the problem, because that's the standard now. That's the gold standard in a relationship. Is if you ain't reading my mind, it's a problem.
If you ain't a medium, a mind reader,
if you ain't got no crystal ball, it's gonna be a problem.
8-ball to kind of do shake back in the day. But I think if more men and women had a genuine interaction with each other, because you can be attracted to something or someone and after a couple of conversations know that, or not even a couple of conversations, after you take it to a certain level, something that you see with them, in them, you can say, you know what, this person is not for me in that way. But that doesn't mean that y'all won't be great friends and can't genuinely.
I mean, that's kind of what I did with you. I mean, I was like,
That's not true at all. You were sweating me so hard. Yes, you were. And just so y'all know, Our spouses know this story. Yeah. It's not a secret.
Like, this is an ongoing debate.
And he will not. But the thing about it is, I have a homegirl that was there that night who told him she remembered what happened.
No,
and
you're fibbing right now.
No, I'm
She
not.
never said that. You know what she said? She said she don't remember.
That's not what she said.
Sure.
Okay, we're going to have to call her again.
We're going to have to call her on the podcast.
We're going to have to call her again.
We're going to call her on an episode and see what she thinks.
Yeah, but
one
for
day
the record, you were
one day
sweating
we'll
me
come
hard.
to a conclusion, you know. But
TK, I was there.
Oh, man. We know that's not true. I mean, anyway, finish your story, because
and I done lost my train of thought.
You and me both.
You and all your storytelling over there. Telling a wrong story. Aesop's fables.
No, but, you know, I think your point was that, you know, people can start off and have these feelings or whatever, but at a certain point, if it just ain't meant to be or it doesn't work out, it's cool. You can be friends. You can
be friends. And it's like, and you have to categorize the friendship.
Right.
Because you cannot be in a relationship with someone or start getting to know someone on a romantic level, and then you have this tag along type of friend that makes your partner uncomfortable, because I know that happens often.
Yeah.
And again, I speak from a woman's point of view, but where a guy will have this female best friend, and like, I know someone who was in a relationship and he had a female best friend. And she flat out told the girlfriend that she was there to stay. She wasn't going nowhere, and she just needed to get over it. What kind of stuff is that? Because if you are just friends, where's that aggression coming from? Like, you don't have to prove yourself, and I shouldn't have to prove myself. Like, you just a homie.
I think it goes back to that harbored feel.
Well, of course, we later find out that there was feelings there. You know, that it was a whatever it was, a exploration of body parts between the two that never took it to the next level, whatever it was.
Okay.
She was like, she wanted to let the girlfriend know that no matter who he goes with or goes through, I'ma still be there. But you looking like the fool. Because he's introduced the best friend, because like, he's introducing me as his woman. You know, and
but I've had situations like that.
Stick your chest out.
I've had situations like that. But women are so weird like that. Most women are just so weird like that.
Weird like what?
It's a competitive thing, because it's like a lot of women are limited in the amount of, you know, like, forwardness that they feel that they can, I guess, spew out. You know what I mean? Like, for a guy, it's like, we are known to be the ones who pursue. So for a woman, for a lot of women, it seems out of place for her to pursue a man and let him know exactly how she feels. She wants him to get it. Like, okay, you figure it out, and then boom, you figure out I'm the one and I've been here the whole time. So the fantasy is now this. This is the new fantasy I'm going to work with. One day you're going to come to the awareness that I've been here the whole time and you've just been overlooking me.
Right.
But during that process of being overlooked, how much stuff gets harbored, and how many other women that woman looks at and they're thinking, you know, she ain't got to, you know, whatever she feels. Because I had a situation like that. I had a situation where a young lady, I was dating a woman, and I had female friends that were at church. Now, this is the crazy part, because it was at church.
A lot of things happen at church.
They sure do. But, you know, just the competitiveness. When I was with this young lady, I had, you know, like I said, I would hang out with the female friends. Well, everybody. And so, but once we broke up, she tells me that, you know, she would always be kind of feeling whatever kind of way, but she would look at the girl that I was with, and she would be like, well, she ain't got a bigger booty than me. Her body ain't better than mine, type of thing.
That just goes to show you the type of person that she was, where she has to reduce herself to the size of derrieres.
Hey, I was not mad at it, though. Hey, whatever she got to use at that moment.
You better use what you got to get what you want.
Straight from the Players Club. But
straight from the it's just like you to make it hard for women like me.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. It does make it hard for other women if you think about it like that, because like for me in my mind, I'm like, dang, I don't know who's. So it makes me want to limit my interactions with women anyway.
Well, you know, some years ago, a guy told me this when I was working. He was saying that, you know, nowadays, every young lady he comes in contact with, and he was a very nice looking guy, and he was like, you know, it seems like every young lady I come in contact with, every chick I come into contact with, like, I don't know if she's trying to be like wife, girlfriend, friend. He was like, those roles are starting to all, you know,
kind of blur.
Yeah, come together. He was like, because she'll be doing this for me, like cooking for me, or come eat, and I'm thinking, huh? But we just friends. So I mean, for me, it's like I've only had that experience once, and I was young. I was like 20, you know, years old. But I do know what it feels like to harbor feelings for someone. And it also doesn't help when everyone around you is like, why y'all not together? Y'all would make the cutest couple. And it's kind of like you start to feed into that, like, why aren't we together?
Right.
Maybe we should try to, because I also feel like even though it's awkward, it should just flow. You know, it should just be flow. Maybe the initial thought of two people that are so used to being friends getting in a romantic relationship is kind of like, dang. But once you both have the same idea, it's kind of like, you know what, this is what it should be, because technically you should be friends first. And also on the opposite scale, like whether you just always are platonic or whether you kind of start off, you know, interested in each other, and once it goes off, like, this ain't never gonna go nowhere, or I ain't never thought about it going nowhere, that's cool too.
But I think it depends on what the other person views of you, and I think you have to work with that reality. Because it's like you can have all the intentions in the world and you can have all the feelings in the world, but that person can only see you one way. So you're literally like forcing something into somebody that they haven't saw yet. and that would be frustrating in the sense that if I'm like, okay, if I have a homegirl and I like to talk to her about business, but in the process of us talking about business, we develop a friendship, you know, just cool. But in her mind, she's developing a plan or ideology or idea of how this could be my man. Just from that conversation, because the conversation that she's having with me, it feels, if it's a good conversation, like it's a natural conversation.
She feels interested. Like y'all can talk about stuff. Y'all have common interests, things like that. Okay.
And so now she's like, I don't talk to nobody else like this. The conversation was genuine. We're having it pretty regularly, and whoop-de-woo. So now all of a sudden she's starting to develop, you know, and men do it too. I'm sure men do it too. But now she's starting to develop like a real interest. But he's could be thinking like I really like talking to her about business.
Or people confuse niceness, someone being kind and nice and respecting, as interest. Like, just because someone's asking you how your day is going, you know, just because a guy compliments and says you look lovely today, don't mean he's trying to, you know, get at you.
Right.
You know, I tell guys, if somebody walks by me and they have on cologne that smells nice, I'm like, ooh, you smell good. What's the name of that? And I'm trying to look for it. So I'm like, find it for my man, you know, but I don't think that just because someone shows kindness or an interest in you, but it's not an interest in you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's an interest in something about you.
Yeah.
It could be, yeah, exactly. It could be an interest in something about you, but not necessarily in you. And
right.
Yeah, but I think people don't know how to separate that.
Yeah, they
don't know how to segment it.
A lot of people don't. And what I want to segue into is partners, spouses, you know, whatever, because I think it's really important. No, I know it's really important that when two people are friends, for them to set that scene up for the people that they're in a relationship with to be comfortable with that relationship.
Right.
You know, because a lot of this men and women can't be friends talk, I believe, really comes from negative experiences from the opposite sex, or dealing with someone who had a friend, quote unquote, of the opposite sex, where all the signs pointed to go, and the person you were in a relationship with was acting, you know, dumb as a rock.
I guess what you're saying is just having the wrong friend of the opposite sex, because they can hold that. If they are harboring something internally, they're going to use that information to benefit them in the relationship, to try to pull that person away. So while you're sharing your information or the problems that you're having, you know, that person is having with their spouse, that person is harboring all this information and thinking and using it against that person to say, this is the reason why you should be getting out, because they're harboring that feeling that you should be with them anyway.
That's true. They do that. Or, you know, if they tell you that they have feelings at that point, to me, it's kind of like, and if you don't feel the same, to me, it's just kind of like, where do you go from there? Because you know this person is digging you, more, yeah, right. And you don't feel that way. You just say, okay, thanks for the info, see you, bye. You know, or
I mean, sometimes you might have to, though. I think sometimes you might have to, especially if you're in a relationship. You know what I mean? If you're in a relationship, I think you have to make a decision at that point as to whether or not you want to continue, because you know things only progress. They don't relax in that regard. You have to make them relax, or they're going to progress to where you're like, okay, you're entertaining more ideas. And
or you convince yourself that they don't mean what they say when they say they don't like you either, because how can they not? We have good conversation. We laugh. I've got more in common with him than his own girlfriend.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
So you manifest something that's not there. But for me, I do think men and women can genuinely be friends. I mean, the truth of the matter is that when TK and I met, there was, it sickens my stomach to say it now, because he's like my brother. So I do not look at him in any type of way outside of a brother.
Right.
That's it. But when we did meet, there was an initial attraction there, but it wasn't anything that
was long-standing.
It wasn't long-standing. It was never the focus of our interaction either,
right.
I would say. Like, we genuinely just talked on the phone. We laughed. You know, we hung out a few times, and we just so happened there was never a conversation. Like, I just think we should be friends. Like,
we just naturally became friends. Our conversation was friendly. It was
it just naturally became like, okay, he's somebody that is I can talk to. I mean, I talk to you, you know, I talk to you about, you know.
But, you know, that's weird. Like, even though that happened, it was never something where I was like, that could be for me, or you felt like that could be for you. It was like, man, like, we're homies. Like, we're like, that's cool that you're like this and you're a man. I'm like this, and you know, I'm a woman type of thing, and we can talk like that. But that was to the extent of it.
And just manifested into a beautiful friendship where, you know what I'm saying, they come in town and him and his wife stay at our home, and you know, him and my husband can have sidebar conversations, and I talk to his wife, you know, on the phone, and it just goes to show you that it's possible. And it has to be done under the right circumstances, and it has to come from a genuine place, because you do not have to have romantic feelings for somebody every time you have an interaction just because they are of the opposite sex.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, just think about how many times you're in school and you have friends, you know what I mean? And you don't like them. They're just your friends.
Right.
Like, they're just your friends. So it's like, at what point in our lives do we hold on to this falsehood of, is it just a lie that's been perpetuated so much that people feel like they have to believe it? Because at what point are people just saying men and women can't be friends? That's like saying all men cheat.
Right. I think it's hope. You know what I mean? I think it gives people hope. It's like because when you start off in, I guess, the dating world, you're so hopeful, and you have all these ideas of how it could be. But as you go through the dating process and things don't happen the way you initially thought, the hope window gets smaller and smaller. So the story changes. It goes from the fairy tale, the prince meeting you and woo woo, to now it's like, I just hope I meet somebody that I can talk to.
Yeah.
And then when you meet somebody that's cool and that's talking to you, you like, this could be it. This could be my hope. That one last dream shot.
And it is hope. It really is. It really is. Because I know several, and I have known several people, both men and women, that have put their heart, it's like silent heartbreak. You know what I mean? It's like they have put their hearts on the line, just saying, just notice me. Like, notice I'm here. Notice I'm doing this for you. Just notice me and feel the same. But it's like they don't.
But that's one of the things we need to feel, a necessity. We need to feel acceptance and we need to feel appreciated. We need certain things that we don't necessarily get through the process of dating, and anything validates. Yeah. Anything will validate that feeling of necessity. So if it's just attention, just the smallest amount of attention, then you'll take. Most people are so desperate that any attention will seem like the right attention.
That's so true. That is so true, especially when it comes from somebody that you feel comfortable with. They can make you laugh, and it's. It
don't matter what they say. All you see is the hope.
That's true. All you see is, because I know back in my day when I was liking my good friend, and I was like, man, he was dating somebody else. I was like, what in the world? But it was that silent heartbreak, because I was like, why can't he just
see it?
Yeah, why can't he just see it? But see, for me, he always saw it. He just, it was just one of them things where it was just like, hey, you on this end, and when you get out of something, now I'm on this end, and we just could never,
I will say one of the great things about when you do have it, because friendships are not designated to just male or female. Like, just because you're of one sex doesn't mean you have to only have friends of that same sex, because you can have lifetime friends. Like with our friendship, it's a lifetime friendship. Like, our kids will know each other,
right?
All from a conversation that we started years ago,
right? All from you sweating me that night at
not
that
from
party.
A lie, you know what I'm saying? But it definitely started. But my point is, it can transition past so much more than just the momentary pleasure that people seek.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And that shoots a lot of people in the foot when they just only seek that one moment, because we've shared a lot of stuff together and over the years, and it's just from that conversation, like from the initial meeting. And now, you got kids, and we're able to like compare notes. Like, man, you remember like 5 years ago here, you were here. So I don't think you can limit that to just a specific sex.
I agree. And had we not continued to talk and let it be organically what it manifested into, I can honestly say I would have missed out on a really great person in my life. Like, I would have missed out on so much.
I agree.
And so,
and we talk like almost every day. We have
for a long time.
Yeah,
what I'm saying, for a long time, and our spouses are completely comfortable with
it's
it,
crazy,
because
right?
they know.
It's crazy.
But we
it's
all
a good thing.
trust each other,
right? But it's like they don't look at it like the opposite sex. They look at it like
brother, sister.
Exactly.
But let me say this though, because you came along in my relationship. So TK ain't something that he ain't no roadkill that I picked up along while I was in my relationship. Like, started, like, he was there prior to me meeting, my husband. And that was very important to me, to let my husband know who he is. With all my other male friends, this is who he is. This is our history. It's nothing for you to be concerned about, because I would never disrespect you or myself and put you in a situation where you have to look into the face of a man that I've done certain things with.
Right.
You should be worried about something like that. But and he was completely okay with it because we set up the environment for him to feel comfortable. And the same thing with a few people that he knew. We're one woman in particular. She and I are incredibly close. We probably tighter than the two of them are now. You know. And I said all that to say is that, but now I'm not acquiring. No, and I hate to sound cliche, but I'm not acquiring any new male friends. Like that part of my life isn't open. Yeah, it's not open. It's not active anymore. Like there's no reason for me to, if I work with somebody and they cool or whatever, and they just don't happen to meet my husband, that's whatever.
Right.
But it's not anything like remotely to you or the other relationships that I've established. And everyone that I am friends with is prior to me knowing my husband.
Right. And it's the same thing with you. Like you knew the first time I was going up to visit my wife. And I told you, I said, listen, I'm going up there. I'm going up and yonder.
I was happy for you.
Yeah, of course. You're genuinely happy for me. And but it's great because you get to see, this is the beautiful thing about, I don't care what sex they are, you get to see from an outside view your transition.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they can say, well, back you did say this, back hit in this time, and look how it manifested. And I don't think you can limit that to just a specific sex, because a lot of women won't be able to tell you things that I can tell you.
No, they can't.
And vice versa. A lot of women can't, a lot of men can't tell me what a woman can tell me or show me or help me understand from that perspective. So I think it's good to open up the floor, especially for people that are genuinely there for your best interest.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter their gender. Like if it's a man and he's cool and he's great to talk to, like just establish the proper way to forge a healthy platonic relationship and what that looks like moving forward when you get into other relationships in a romantic way, so that everybody can be one big happy family. Because that's genuinely how I feel. I feel like it's because it really does take a village. Like you've been instrumental in a lot of things in my growth, and I know it's been vice versa because I give you some of your best material. And, and I know there's still things that, I'm looking forward to, being someone to lean on, like when you and your wife have children, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a completely different emotional experience for her, and the two of y'all. And that's something that I've been through. That's something that my husband and I've been through. But I said all that to say is just that just because the attraction might go away, or just because something starts out with attraction, that doesn't mean it has to stop there.
Right.
It doesn't.
People cross the line too fast too. In
Agreed.
Regard. You know what I mean? Because they mess up some of the best. And that's another thing like that I like to hit on, because I've had a lot of women, but it's like a lot.
Where's the sound bite for that?
Ain't no sound. We don't need no sound bite for that one. That's just
get out of here. It's get over here. Whatever.
We're gonna let that rest up for a second. A moment of silence for that. Okay.
Have you been tested?
Of course. Tested and approved. Tested and time tested.
Kid tested, mother approved.
Time tested and mother approved. But yeah, I ain't got no kids either. So, but I said, what was I saying? I was saying something very important. Oh yeah. So as you go through the process of dealing with and dating a lot of women, you begin to see difference. And initially, all of them start off the same. You bring them in pretty much the same way. There's this, okay, like, how you doing? Woo, woo. But after you get to a certain point where you start interacting and having those conversations, it starts to shift. It starts to shift to, okay, this is going to be somebody I'm interested in actually being in a relationship with, or we have a lot of sexual chemistry, so it's just going to be this, or we're just cool, and that's all it's going to be. But a lot of times, a lot of guys, like, they put all of them into one category.
That's so true.
Like, they're only going to be this. Like, I don't care how cool they are or whatever. They're only going to be this. But on the flip side, I was about to say, on the flip side, women do similar, like this could be my husband.
Or this is just somebody that this is my cut buddy. Do they even say cut anymore?
No, they don't say that.
Well,
that was back in 97.
That goes kilo the dream. This could be my.
That was back in the Chris Lover and Poon Daddy. That was back in them days.
And Tasha.
Tasha was on there?
No, Tasha wasn't on
there. Okay. I was about to say that. I missed that.
Yeah, or they're just friends with benefits.
Yeah.
Or this is somebody but women got but if those are just the categories men have, women have a lot. Oh, this is somebody that I can go to dinner with.
My friend.
This is somebody that I just hang out with. Oh, this somebody that, when I'm just trying to go here, I call him. This somebody that I like when I'm trying to stun. Like, this somebody that we just sleep with. I just sleep with. Like, it's women got like a portfolio of categories for a man.
Man, shoot, I can't. I don't know what category I fell in for the most part, but I didn't really care what category I fell in, to be honest. I just knew, like, I'm gonna present myself, and if I ain't getting the results that I'm looking for, adios. If I ain't getting them results, adios. But I also, whenever I did, I always sought to give more than I took from a woman, or what she feels she's giving. Good. I always
her
sought
full
that.
with something.
Yeah, leave her with something that she can use. So, but
just for me overall, you can be friends with the opposite sex. You really can be, and it can be wonderful. It can be great. Y'all can share a whole life together, because it takes a village, in my opinion, not just to raise a child, but it takes a village to support you when you're going through, support your marriage, to keep you encouraged, to talk you off the ledge, to talk you onto the ledge, to pursue certain things, and to help you and your partner weather the storm, and that doesn't always come from someone of the same, with the same gender. It just doesn't, because the thing about women is just so funny is that women talk to their girlfriends all the time, but they're more willing to take advice from a man, especially about relationships. Like, they really want to hear what a man has to say, and it's like, if it's okay then, but that y'all can just be homies. And I think we're living in a day and age now with these new kids that they have that.
Oh, lady.
Yeah, they have that. I feel like women are a lot more aggressive now. Yeah. They are like, oh, this my homie. Like, a lot of girls are kind of really turning into one of the guys,
right?
With the way that they present themselves to the world.
That's kind of a whole nother topic.
So they do have very platonic relationships with a lot of guys.
But a lot of older women are turning into that too. They're taking a page out of that book and being more aggressive in their pursuit, because if you notice, women are becoming more sexually open and more sexually
they proposing
free
to men, but that's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole nother thing. But because at the end of the day, people feel as though they're only going to be used for this one thing anyway, so they might as well go ahead and focus on that,
right?
Because that's what they're ultimately gonna be. I just killed a fly, so I don't know what you're doing, but I'm gonna put
just put that on the floor. Okay. But for a second, it's on the fly swatter. So
I'm a professional fly killer. That's what I do.
I know how to kill them real good. If you wet a dish rag and wring that thing out and back out, boy, you stop a mid-flight.
I can do it with my hand though. The trick,
I ain't trying to do all that. That's nasty.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. You either gonna have it flying all up in your face, where you just trying to chill and land it on your lip, or you gonna kill it. I'm saying that.
I hate when they bzz right by your ear.
I know, but I hate when they just land on anything
and it's nasty too, man. Like back in the day, growing up in the melanated community, they teach just shoot that fly off. But it's nasty. Like if a fly lands on your food, you should literally throw it away because they carry so much disease,
so much
and
crap.
Nastiness. But that's just the tip of the day.
Yeah, that's just a little take our word for that.
Take my word. Don't eat that rib.
Don't eat
at least not that
Don't
bone.
Eat that bun. Peel that piece of bun off.
That piece of bun bun off. That
Get it
little
off.
extra piece of burger hanging off the
go ahead,
back.
throw that away.
Let it go.
Throw that away
Just
and
go
keep your
ahead.
eyes on your food.
Keep
Whatever
your
you
eyes peeled
peeled on that food
at the barbecue.
because it's coming. The 4th is on Wednesday, so
The 4th is coming,
So,
and the
yeah.
and the
you
flies
just
will
got
be
a
out.
Tip. You just got a tip that's gonna change your life.
Yeah, throw that thing away. Don't just shoot that fly away.
No, buddy.
Wake up the
Peel
next
that little piece
day
of bread
on
off.
dialysis.
Hey, stranger things have occurred.
That's a good show too.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a pretty good show. When is it coming back?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but I did like it. It kind of had slow parts though to me at certain points, but that's neither here nor there. Now, I'm telling you, you gotta watch the AO. The AO player. That is the show. This Caucasian lady is doing her thug thizzle.
AO.
The AO.
That's that show you told me about
Oh,
before?
the OA. My bad. It's called the OA.
That thing was boring. I couldn't get
You gotta
into
get past
it.
the first
I
episode.
know.
I know.
I couldn't get past it.
Man, the OA is the bomb. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, that's how we do it. We just talk about all kinds of stuff, and it's so funny that how our interaction is. Like, it's so funny because our spouses are very similar in their interaction.
Yes, how they are.
They
It's
are
so crazy.
like bland. Like,
bland.
I mean, you know, like we are the
You acting
spice
like they
of the.
boiled chicken or something.
No, because we kick stuff off.
We're just more
Expressive.
communicative, expressive. Yeah, they're more like laid back and
Yeah, but it works perfect for us individually.
like they watching TV. I ain't heard a peep neither one of them. But if me and TK was in there watching
You
TV,
would hear all kinds
you
of
wouldn't be able to hear the TV.
Right. So, I mean, that's the crazy part, though. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like literally like my sister. Like, that's how it is. It's like, it's so weird. But that's the trade-off, though. If you sometimes you, I guess the moral of the story for what I'm saying is sometimes you just got to let it be what it is.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to make it something that it's not. And, you know, and you'll save yourself a lot of trouble and a lot of heartache by just allowing things to be
believe me,
how they are.
when I kick TK to the curb, I saved myself a world of grief. That woman can have it.
Listen, you did because you're not meant for, you know, it was not meant to be like that.
I
know?
got
what you.
my joy.
There you go.
Sweet. Oh, that's sweet love, not sweet joy.
Yeah, that's definitely not the right song. But I mean, I don't even look at it like that. I look at it like how when you guys got together, it was perfect for you. You know what I mean? Like, and I wanted you have that. That's you. You're individual. I didn't look at it like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't nothing to hold back because I didn't.
Right.
Yeah, we had already moved past that. So, anyway, I think we're pretty much gonna end it right there. We're gonna conclude it at that particular junction of the conversation. While she tries to kill another bug with the rat fur.
Mosquito done got in his house. Jesus.
With the rat fur slippers on.
Whatever.
Anyway, go ahead and give us your feedback. This is the first installment of many more with old JB here.
Goodness gracious.
And Take Our Word exclusive.
Take our word.
This is a Take Our Word exclusive under the guise of Relationships and Chill. So, anyway, this has been R. Anthony.
And I'm Kandyce.
JB. And we are out of here.
Peace.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to Relationships and Chill. For more information on cultivating the relationship of your dreams, please follow us on Instagram or Facebook at Relationships and Chill, or subscribe to our YouTube channel at Relationships and Chill TV. You can also visit our website at www.relationshipsandchill.com. Together, let's make relationships great again.